Okay, I have the pleasure of introducing the two most beautiful women in my life, rather, minus my wife. My niece Stephanie
Hello.
and my mother Madeline.
Hi.
So today we're going to be interviewing my mother, and Stephanie's going to be helping me. And Stephanie is the youngest daughter of my oldest brother Michael, who has always been like a mentor to me, if you will, right?
Yeah.
So you're almost finished with your master's degree in occupational therapy, right?
Yes, almost last year.
How much longer you got?
So I was actually just telling Grandma, right?
Thinking, you know,
Yes.
she got a diamond in her nose.
She's got a nose piercing?
Yes, I do.
Wow. Don't sneeze and then break grandma's glasses.
I've had it for a while, but I guess
Uh.
she's this close, so she's noticing.
Yeah, but it's small.
Yeah. But anyway, this is my last semester of classes, and then I have to do field work for 24 weeks, and then I have to take my exam, and I graduate technically next May.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Not bad. All right, Ma, are you ready?
What do you want?
So you got the vaccine.
Yeah,
You're all vaccinated.
yeah, I'm done.
So now you could hug and kiss the baby, little Giovanna.
I know, but you know what? You still got to be careful.
I know.
I haven't even seen him. I mean, really.
Right before Christmas.
For my grandson, I'm going to hit him. I don't hear the baby that much.
I'm gonna make sure that he sees this now, so he brings the baby over. But all right. So how you had this today? Was your second shot for the vaccine, right? And everything went cool, no problems.
Yeah.
No problems at all.
I'm good so far.
Okay, good. All right, Ma. So last time we spoke, I don't know if you remember, we talked about like how it was growing up in Red Hook.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, and we talked about the Brooklyn Dodgers, and we talked about a whole bunch of things. But I always wanted to talk about what it was like when you first got married.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So you got married in what, 1961? Right?
Michael was born in 62.
What?
Michael was born in 62.
He was? So how did you meet Daddy?
I went to a social club.
Yeah.
My friends and I went to a social club, and he was the president of the social club.
Just make sure you speak up a little bit louder, Ma, because people have to hear you. So
We went to a social club. My girlfriend and I went to social club.
okay.
And social clubs were very in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Daddy was the president of the social club,
Okay. Okay.
and he liked me.
Oh, okay. Now, for people that don't know, people think social clubs, they think gangsters, mafia, but that's not the way it was in the 1950s. Everybody had a social club, right? Or everybody belonged to a social club.
Oh, social club. Everybody mamboed.
Everybody what?
Mamboed.
Like Latin music?
Dances, Latin dances. Everybody.
Really? And that was like the early to mid 50s. Latin music was really big.
Yeah, it was big.
And who was what was it? Tito Puente was the number one.
Hey, Rodriguez, who else? Rodriguez, Pente, and I forgot who else there was.
But and you guys used to hire Latin bands to come to the social club, right?
Yeah.
And then, so how did you wound up? He liked you, but wasn't he dating one of your friends?
Yeah, he was dating my girlfriend Nettie.
And then what happened?
And then Nettie came, my girlfriend D.
Uh-huh.
Nettie and D were three good friends. He was dating Nettie. Nettie really liked him.
Mm-hmm.
D came over to me and said, Johnny wants to take you out. I said, I can't go with him. He's going with Nettie.
Right.
But he really doesn't want to go with Nettie anymore. He wants to be with you. So I said, okay.
And what about Nettie? What did she say?
She was my bridesmaid.
Really? Wow, that's loyalty right there.
They were nice girls. I had good friends.
Good. So what, that was during the I would say what, the mid to late 50s?
I was married. Oh yeah, sure.
Right. And then Daddy had to go into the service, right?
He went into the service, yeah. We were getting married. We had planned our wedding, but he was to go into service.
Okay. And that was before Vietnam, right?
Just before, pre-Vietnam.
And he got out right before Vietnam, right?
Yeah, he was in, what was the other one before Vietnam?
Well, before Vietnam was the Korean War.
Korea was after Korea
Before Vietnam.
and before Vietnam. I forgot what it was.
But where was he stationed? In the Philippines?
Yes, he was in the Philippines.
Philippines. I think he was I forgot where else he was, but okay, so it's 1961. You guys get married, right? And where'd you move to? Where was your first apartment?
First apartment, Bensonhurst.
Oh, okay. Your first apartment was Bensonhurst. Where? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember we had a very nice landlord.
Okay. And then where was your second apartment?
That was my second apartment.
Consley Street.
Oh, I hated that. Yeah.
Second apartment was Greenpoint, right?
Consley Street. Yeah, but Emma got me in. She was up there. That was her mother-in-law's house.
Oh, really?
That was her mother-in-law's house. She lived upstairs and I moved downstairs.
Okay.
And then I couldn't stand it. And Daddy and I didn't like it. And we bought a house in Bensonhurst.
Oh, so then you moved to Bensonhurst. So then you moved to Bensonhurst. So now it's around what's 1964, 65, give or take?
Well, I had Dominic in 62.
Okay.
Sorry, Michael in 62.
Okay.
Dominic was 65.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So then, and you're living in, and you're at this point, you're living in Bensonhurst.
I'm living in my own home, yeah.
And what kind of neighborhood was Bensonhurst in the mid 60s?
All Italian, all Italian,
All Italian.
all Italian.
And all the homes were all Italian.
American Italians, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And was it a rough neighborhood or was it a nice neighborhood?
Parts of it was rough. There were gangs, parts of it. Mainly it was a homebody. It was a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
People who owned the houses were, good people who just settled in,
Hardworking people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And what kind of kid was your oldest, Michael?
He was a good boy.
Really?
He was a good boy.
He wasn't in trouble a lot?
When he got older, yeah. Baby, he was a good baby.
Yeah. But when he was older, he was always in trouble?
Yeah, young teenager, he was a bitch.
All right. And then what about Dominic, your second son?
Dominic was a fresh baby.
Right.
Fresh baby.
Right.
But as he got older, he got better.
Okay. And what about me?
Well, you came after how many years? 11 years after John, Michael?
Dominic.
11 years after Dominic and 14 years after Michael.
That's right. Yeah.
And you were a good baby.
Right.
You were spoiled rotten, but you were a good baby.
Well, by that point, Daddy was making money. What?
Everybody spoiled you.
Yeah, by that point, Daddy was making a lot of money.
You were doing well.
Yeah, and there was always plenty of toys and food and
Cars.
cars. Everybody had new cars. Yeah, I remember. Absolutely. Dominic had, wasn't it your car, the Cordoba? They gave him your car, and you got the Oldsmobile, right?
Yeah, I got the other one.
And then Michael got a Cordoba, right? Too.
Yeah.
Chrysler Cordoba, something like that. I don't remember. So what kind in the neighborhood, the kids, it was a little racist, right? Like if you were black and you walked through the neighborhood in the 70s and 80s, it was not
That was terrible.
really.
My sons went to FDR, the high school there,
Yeah.
and there were no black people at all.
Right.
Really, everybody was Italian. But one time I remember this black kid
Yeah.
was coming out of school
Uh-huh.
and run away because the Italian kids were looking to kill him.
Right.
I hit him. I told him, go this way, go that way. But I didn't want the Italians to, he wasn't doing nothing. He was a good boy. He
Yeah. Right.
was out of school.
Yeah. Didn't you hide him behind your car?
Yeah, I hit him.
Yeah.
Aw, I didn't know that.
So that they wouldn't bother, they wouldn't see him.
And then when they left, he ran to the train station.
And then he ran to the station, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And there was a lot of that.
I drove him, as a matter of fact. I put him in the back of my car laying down.
Oh, really? You drove him to the train station.
To the station.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, it was a little rough back then when it came to that. Now the neighborhood's really mixed.
They were mafia. Everybody thought they were mafia.
Yeah, everybody thought they were a tough guy. Yeah, I know. But there was a lot of that in Bensonhurst.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we live in Bensonhurst. Daddy's family is always around. Aunt Josie, right? Aunt Marianne, Uncle Mike, Uncle Frank, all the cousins, big holidays and so on and so forth, right? And then tragedy happens, right? In 1984, Aunt Josie passed.
Was it 84?
I'm pretty sure it was 84, yeah. Because we were still in Brooklyn, and I think we moved in 87 or 88. We moved to Staten Island.
She died while we were still in Staten Island, in Brooklyn?
No, we were still in Brooklyn, yeah. Yeah. And I remember we had the dinner at Nino's
Oh, really?
downtown. Yeah. Do you remember? You don't remember that?
And now that you're saying it, yeah.
And we had my communion party at Nino's. Do you remember that communion party?
Nino. No, I don't remember.
You don't remember my communion party? It was like a wedding. Daddy was making so much money back then.
Oh, yeah. He was showing off. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And Nino was very good friends with Daddy.
Yeah. That's right.
He was always there.
And so then after Aunt Josie passes, things kind of change. And then we moved to Staten Island.
Mhm.
And Daddy buys this big house in Staten Island.
Right.
And how did you like it?
I didn't.
Well, tell us.
I didn't like it. I wasn't used to having this big house. The house itself was nice, but I didn't like the area it was in.
Yeah.
Everybody thought who they were.
Everybody was snobby.
Yeah, they all thought who they were, but actually, I really didn't like it.
No. Yeah. And then for a while, you were bothering Daddy to move back. And I remember going to see houses with you as a kid back in Brooklyn.
They finally was trying to give in to me.
Yeah.
Finally was trying to give in to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why we moved to Bensonhurst.
Say that again?
After that house, we moved to Bensonhurst.
No. After you mean no in Staten Island. We moved from Bensonhurst to Staten Island.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. Yes.
And then
This house, to the house I'm in now.
no, well that we moved. You guys moved to that house in 2002 or something like that.
That's right, 2002.
But when you were in Staten Island, you kind of like, how can I say this? You kind of couldn't get away from the Brooklyn because your neighbors, Daddy became very good friends with your neighbors. Louis.
Oh, Louis and Debbie.
Yeah. And they were Louis was cut from the same paper as Daddy.
Cards. Everybody liked to play cards.
Yeah. But Louis was a rough Brooklyn dude, just like Daddy.
Yeah.
And they got along really well.
Yeah, they got on. And I got along good with Debbie.
Yeah. If it wasn't for those two, oh, Mike, holy shit. If it wasn't for those two, I think we might have committed suicide.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But then you guys went on vacation together.
I had a son that was close to your age.
Yeah, Louis. I still talk to him. I still keep in touch with him. And I talked to him last week.
And how many children does he have
He's
now?
got four kids.
And he
got-
the second one,
2 boys and 2 girls he's got.
the second wife, right?
Yeah. 2 boys and 2 girls. And he lives in Jersey too. Everybody moved to New Jersey.
His sister.
What?
His sister. Remember his sister?
Yeah, his sister Michelle. I think I'm not 100% sure.
She was
what
married and
is-
then divorced.
I don't know. I haven't spoke to her, but I think she lives with Debbie. I don't know. I think she's divorced. I'm not 100% sure because I don't keep in touch with her. You know.
Debbie loves Louis. Debbie's not with Louis anymore.
No, yeah, they separated. I know after all those years.
Oh, yeah. You know, I met him one time. Not me, Christina. Did she tell you?
No, she didn't.
Oh yeah, Christina saw him in the store,
They
right?
went to the store.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Go ahead,
No,
Stephanie. You could stay in.
I don't remember the whole entire story, but Christina like went to the card store to get
Uh-huh.
she just went to go get a card, and obviously Louis didn't recognize her, but she like, explained who she was because Christina has a memory like you, like she remembers everything.
Yeah.
So she explained who she was, and he was like, "No way! Like you're Michael's daughter!" Like it was so sweet.
You want to hear a funny story about Grandpa and Louis?
Wait, hold on. What's that?
Yeah, I get these super phone calls.
Oh, okay.
You want to hear a funny story about Grandpa and Louis?
Yeah, let's
Grandpa used to own this building on Fifth Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like back in the 90s, and it was before internet and before cell phones and so on and so forth. And somehow Grandpa lost the building. I think they foreclosed on the building, and he was still collecting rent from the tenant. The tenant was a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
He was like this Indian guy. But by the time the pharmacist found out that the building was foreclosed, because it's like I said, it's not like today where the information is handy right away.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa was still collecting the rent, and he would, whatever. So finally, he finds out, blah, blah, blah. And then like a week later, Grandpa's friend Louis walks in and goes, yeah, I'm the new landlord. You got to pay me. And the guy started paying Louis rent, and he never bought the building.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like,
so both of them. Crooked.
Yeah.
Well, in those days, everybody was everybody.
Yeah, everybody was looking to make $1. Yeah.
Father was the same way. My father,
Yeah, that's right. Your father was the same way. Yeah.
Everybody was ripping people off.
Yeah. It was, Stephanie, it was the strangest thing. People were so compassionate, but the crime was through the roof.
Yeah.
It was the strangest thing. I actually talked about it with DMC in the interview about how much more people were compassionate, how people would help each other. Right.
Yes.
But the crime was through the roof, and DMC was just like, yeah, everybody just wanted to make money. That's why the crime was through the roof. So, Daddy and Grandpa would have these new cars, right, Stephanie?
Yeah, I'm listening.
And then what happened? They would park it outside in the front in Brooklyn, and they would steal the bumper, and they would steal the radio, and they would steal the grill. And then Grandpa would just send either Daddy or Uncle Dominic up the block to 20th Avenue to go buy another stolen one.
Oh my God.
And they were probably just buying the same one back.
Yeah, of course.
They ripped off, Yeah, it was different back then.
Different times.
Yeah. So what was your favorite gift that Daddy got you, Ma? Because Daddy got you a lot of nice gifts.
Daddy always bought me beautiful gifts.
What was your favorite one? Was it the car? Well, he bought you a couple of cars, but
of course,
or was it the mink coat you had?
Oh, remember that mink coat?
Yeah, you have to speak up, Ma.
Yes, he bought me a mink coat, and I don't know how it came about that somebody had a mink coat.
Well,
mink coat.
The only one I knew that had one was you.
Somebody had a mink coat, and he said to me, "Do you want a mink coat?" And he came home one day with it. He said, "Come with me to the furrier.
Yeah.
And whatever you want, it's yours."
Right.
And I picked out this beautiful mink coat.
Yeah.
Not only did I pick out a mink coat, but I picked out a fox jacket.
Oh, so you got two.
I got two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were a little spoiled too back then when Daddy was making money.
Well, he did spoil me. Yeah.
Do you remember how much the mink coat was back then?
Oh God, who remembers?
This was in the 80s, right?
Yeah, who remembers? All I know is that I didn't have to worry about money, and he didn't. Whatever you want, just take it.
And he was the same way with your family, right? He was the same way with Grandma. Like if you needed something for your mother.
Oh, he was there. He was very good that way.
Yeah.
But first of all, he was very good to his mother.
Right.
Mother could do no wrong. He was very, and she was a nice lady. I liked
her. Right.
But no, I didn't. A lot of them didn't like their mother, but I liked her. She was a nice lady, and she was nice to me.
Yeah.
And he was good to my mother.
Yeah.
He was good to my. Whatever your mother wants, he used to say, make sure she gets it. Don't worry about the money.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah. And then when Grandma would come over, he would make sure that he had like cream puffs and Manhattan Special.
When she came over, he always made sure she had all her life, everything that she liked. He made sure he had there for her. He was very, very, very good to my mother.
Yeah.
Mother.
And
he was good to Peter too as a baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was good to Peter.
Oh, okay. And Grandpa liked him, right?
Oh, Grandpa, yeah, sure, Grandpa liked him. Why not?
Why? So tell us why.
Grandpa liked him.
Well, tell us why Grandpa liked him.
But he was a wild kid. He was a tough kid, and he was a sweet kid. But he made a lot of money. So this was just what my father was.
So you married the same person,
Yeah, same kind of person that my father was.
right?
Don't bother me. You know that, right?
Mhm.
And that was it. And so they got along very well.
Okay.
Daddy was very good to my father.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was very good to my father. Yeah.
And he worked for Daddy. He worked for Grandpa for a little while,
He
right?
was as an electrician. My father broke him in,
Yeah.
and then he got his own shop. He got his own electrical shop.
Yeah. Then he went on his own, and he had a partner, right?
Dominic.
Yeah, Uncle Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic.
And then he had a second partner, Vito.
Oh, dear God, yeah.
Is it? So why don't
Long to good.
tell people what happened to Vito?
He died. He got killed.
Yeah, yeah, I know he died, but he got killed. Somebody shot him, right?
And somebody shot him.
And wasn't he in his car? And they shot him in his car.
You know something, Peter, John, I really don't. I remember that they were after him for some other reason. I don't know why. And
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah, he was in his car and he got shot. And that was it. But he was a nice guy anyway.
No, he didn't like him, right?
I didn't like him.
Yeah, and Daddy didn't like him too much either.
No.
I remember, but
That's how he was.
I think he went partners with him because of for money reasons. I'm pretty sure, from what I remember.
Yeah, he had a lot of money. He don't have a lot.
Yeah, Maya, you got to move your hands from your face so we can hear you.
Well, at that time, whatever Vito had was a lot of money.
Right.
Maybe not so much, but in those days it was a lot.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
And then Daddy got very friendly with Scappy.
Yeah. Okay. So tell people who Scappy was.
Scappy was a gangster in the neighborhood, a mobster.
Yeah, it was a mafia, but he was like the real deal. He was a boss, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
And then that kind of became Daddy's silent partner, if you will.
yeah.
Right?
Whatever Daddy did, whatever he did, Daddy was on the sideline, but
Yeah.
Daddy was involved with him.
Yeah.
And he was with Daddy.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Hmm.
So you want to hear another story between Grandpa and his silent partner Scappy?
Yep, let's hear it.
So Scappy used to.
He's dead now. Too,
Yeah, he
right?
died in prison. Yeah, he spent like 30-something years in prison.
And
yeah.
His girlfriend was. He was very close. I was very friendly with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he was never married. So Scappy used to send Grandpa to collect money because Scappy used to lend money for interest to people on the street, right? So he sends money. He sends my thing. I'm pretty sure it was the guy Nino who owned the restaurant that Daddy was friends with.
Right.
And I want to say it was somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000, right?
Mhm.
So Scappy liked Daddy so much that he used to send him to, Scappy liked Grandpa so much they used to send him to collect. And this was like in the 80s.
Always ate there for nothing.
And then he would Grandpa would never Grandpa this time didn't turn the money in to Scappy.
Okay.
So like a week later, Scappy says to Grandpa, "What where's the money from Nino?" And Grandpa goes, "I needed a little money." And Scappy liked him so much, he went, "All right."
Ah,
Yeah, but there was so much
Like,
money
what?
around. There was so much money.
Yeah,
around.
he said he liked they got along so well. They went, "Oh, okay, no problem." yeah, it's true.
You know?
Yep.
They must have been making a lot of money. That
Yeah,
year.
back then cash was very easy back then. And, everything was crooked and there was no surveillance like today. There was no DNA like today. Everybody was on the take. It was different. And nobody went to the cops if anything happened. It was a
Yeah,
totally
that was like probably the last thing you did.
Yeah, right. A totally different story. So, okay, Mom, I'm going to ask you, let's see. I'm going to ask you, when Michael was a baby,
Mhm.
what was his favorite show?
Oh, dear God, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Speed Racer.
What? Oh, it's Speed Racer. But he was a little older when he understood he loved the cars.
Yeah. Michael's favorite show was Speed Racer.
Speed Racer was a car.
Now, do you remember my favorite show? And the only reason I'm saying this is because it came up on my phone on Facebook.
No.
Remember Kojak?
Oh, yeah, come on here. Well, I loved him.
I used to watch Kojak with you.
Yeah, I do love him. He was
Yeah.
his boyfriend from the telephone.
Telly Savalas. Say that again.
I tell you about, I used to love him.
Yeah. Those are the two guys you like. You like Telly Savalas, and who else did you like? Chris Christopherson.
Oh, do you remember? Oh, how do you remember all this?
Because I remember you teasing me as a kid, telling me they're your boyfriends, and I used to get mad and say, "No, they're not your boyfriends."
He was handsome.
I used to say that Chris Christopherson was so sexy. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one more question, and then we're going to end this.
Because he remembers.
Out of all three sons, who's your favorite?
You are, of course.
Just leave a little extra in the will for me, Ma.
You were the baby, and you were spoiled rotten.
I was spoiled rotten, but we all were. Daddy was buying things for everybody.
What?
I said, Daddy was buying things for everybody.
Daddy was no. That's one thing about your father. He had money in his pocket. Everybody was well off.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They don't make them like him too much anymore.
Very generous.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Very generous.
All right, Ma. We're gonna see you later. All right. So that was a quick one.
We talk about our Christmases with our Christmas tree and all the toys and everything.
Yeah, I think we covered that last time. But yeah, when I was a kid, every toy. I mean, the even when we lived in Brooklyn, I don't know if you remember, but we were downstairs in the basement, and the tree was in the corner, and there was just toys everywhere. Anyway,
It was good. It was a good grandpa.
Mhm.
Ma, thank you. I really appreciate you doing the interview. I think people are gonna love it, and they love you, which is
I
why.
love you. We love you. We love you.
Thank you.
When am I going to see you, by the way?
Probably but I don't know if I'll be there this weekend, but during the week I'll probably be by.
It's already 3 weeks.
It's not 3 weeks. I was there shoveling snow last week.
Yeah, well.
That doesn't count. All right, Ma, I'm leaving.
All right.
All right.
Go out to your wife.
I will. And
Big boy.
I will, of course. And do you still love me or no?
Do I still love you? I love you. Okay.
Okay, good. All right, Ma, thank you.
All right, baby. Bye-bye.